This
Hey,
meeting is being recorded.
hey, hi. Myself is Pench. I am currently working for Southern Glazers, which is a wine and spirit distribution company, which operates almost all states in US and UK as well. So right now I am working on three applications. All these three applications are being enabled on AI features. Uh, the, the first application is related to sales forecasting, which is running on AWS Cloud. The second application related to sales representative goals tracking, that is under development, which is broadly using AI features like RAG technique, MCP model to talk to large language models. Uh, and also at the same time, we have a third application, which is on-premise application, meaning
Mm-hmm.
we manage the infrastructure, we upgrade the system, we manage all the servers, the databases. So these are the three applications. Now, when we come to the tech stack, I am working on front-end development using React. That's a front-end technology. And then for the backend, Java, Spring Boot, and and as far as database is concerned, we are currently using four databases, like Microsoft SQL, PostgreSQL, MongoDB, PG Vector, I mean, meaning SQL databases, NoSQL databases, and also vector database. It's again a semantic model in order to interact with the large language model.
Mm-hmm.
And one application is running on AWS, as I mentioned. The other two applications are currently on-premise, meaning these are not deployed under Kubernetes. And at the same time, on the third application, it is a kind of async mechanism wherein we are using a Kafka in order to communicate asynchronously with the different vendors, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also we have enabled CI/CD pipeline for auto deployment on a AWS cloud, wherein this application is basically working on running on Kubernetes clusters of which is called K8s of AWS, right? And at the same time, I do not involve much, but I get involved in troubleshooting of the Terraform. Terraform is basically to manage the infrastructure of the cloud. So I'm familiar with almost 20 plus AWS services. So like Amazon Bedrock, sorry, Amazon Redshift, which is a data warehouse for the company, a big database, right?
Mm-hmm.
And S3, RDS, EKS, ECS, ECR, IM, EC2, the many other services I'm very much familiar. So that's about me.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. So the role that I have is they are actually migrating their data center from on premises, which is WebLogic and Java 8 to OpenShift containers, right? So little will you will be working heavily on the database side. Sorry, migration side. Just one second. Okay. You will be, I'm sorry, I had to turn on my video. Sorry. Um, you will be working on mostly on the migration, the cluster migration, the setting up pipelines, topics, Kafka topics, and creating the CI/CD pipelines using Jenkins. Okay, that is first thing. On Java side, Java 8 is basically what they are looking for. Other than that, 17 and above, if you have that is ID, that will be additional.
Okay, let me comment on this one. Java 8 license will be expiring this September 2026. So every application
Is being
that is
migrated
using
to Java
Java 8
17.
will be migrated to either 17 or
Or
21. So
yeah,
right now we are in 21.
awesome. That's awesome. So the team is GIS. They work 5 days on site. Specifically, this GIS team works 5 days on site, and they would require someone who did work heavily on Spring Security, someone who did secure their application using Spring Security, and pretty much your query optimization experience is definitely going to help.
Perfect.
Okay. So, since you already mentioned that you did work on Java 8, sorry, Java 17 and 21 right now. So, when you moved from Java 8 to Java 17, what are the major changes you found in Java 17?
No, Java 17, not exactly. Java 21, you can ask me the questions.
No, if I compare this
Yes.
with Java 8 to Java 17, what are the major addition or features you found added in Java 17?
Okay. So as far as Java 17 is concerned, one is a record. That is a new added feature
Mm-hmm.
wherein we need not to, declare the classes or methods. We can simply use a record, and then streams comes as it is. And there was a new garbage collector that was introduced with the Java 17, I guess, which is G1GC.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in 21 it is different, GGC, which has a high performance. So these
Mm-hmm.
are the only two differences I worked on with the Java 17 as far as Java 8 is concerned.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Very well.
You can ask me Java 17 because Java 21, that is where I worked on.
No, I mean, I am not going very deep in that because I just wanted to understand how good your understanding is. So tell me, what is the difference between this is parallel streams and sequential streams?
Okay, so which is one of the very good feature of Java 8. When I say parallel stream,
Mm-hmm.
this is basically array parallel stream, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is basically processing the elements in the collection in a sequence manner. Say, for example, if my um, CPU has got two cores, this parallel stream would be assigning a task to two cores. So this parallel processing runs at the same time. When I say serial processing, serial parallelism, what happens? It goes one by one. Say, for example, if I have only one core in the CPU, with this sequential parallel processing,
Mm-hmm.
it it processes one data set at a time, stops and takes other one. It processes. We feel like it's running on a parallel process, but it's not. So that's what the difference between uh, you know parallel processing, sequence processing. We
Okay.
basically use this parallel processing in case of arrays or collections.
Okay. Okay.
You
Very
might be
nice.
having a different answer, but this is where I
No,
worked
no,
on.
that's you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. How would you differentiate in between hash map and concurrent hash map?
Yeah. So hash map, concurrent hash map is basically is a thread shape, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hash map is not a thread shape.
Agree, 100%.
Do you want me to elaborate more in detail, like how it works?
Little bit, yeah.
Right. Say, for example, I have two threads running at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
In updating the collection, what happens in case of concurrent hash map? There are some methods. By using those methods, when two threads are trying to access the same thread, one one thread will be managed as a sync. When it's sync, only one thread can access the data inside the collections, right? Other one cannot. Once the operation of the first thread is completed, then only second thread can access it. That's where it is the safe one. There are some methods we can use those methods, like if present, if not present. There are more methods I don't exactly remember. By using those methods, we can manage the threads. So in case of hash map, um, these are just key value based struct collections, right? It is
Mm-hmm.
not thread shaped at all.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
And hash
Uh,
map works.
do you think array list is thread safe, Pench?
No, sorry, the array list, hash map, all these are not kind of thread
Not
shape.
thread safe,
Only concurrent
100%.
hash map is a thread
So
shape.
how will you make it thread safe?
No, in that case, we have to, how can we make a array list as a thread safe? Mm, yeah, that's very key important because in a multi-threaded environment, we have to handle it. How did we do that? Because concurrent hash map was not introduced with the Java 8, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. Con- Yeah, I'm unable to recollect that one.
I, I
How
would
we
I would
have done.
definitely give you time to think about it. I know you can do it.
This is not a key value. Uh, yeah, array list, hash map, all these are collections.
You're going
Um,
very right. You're going very right. Go ahead.
right, right. I mean, these are kind of collections. I mean, how to handle. No, I'm unable to recollect like what we have done with the. This is a key feature. Of course, we have implemented some time back. In the collections, I think we must have to use a synchronous keyboard in order
You
to
got it.
manage
You
threads.
got it. That's the reason I wanted to give you time. Yeah, yeah,
Right,
yeah. You are right. Collection dot synchronization. You got it.
right, right. Yeah,
So, how do you secure a RESTful API?
right. So there are two main ways to secure, API endpoints. One is JWT, other one is
Mm-hmm.
OAuth2.
Auth protocols,
So
right?
right now we are basically working on JWT token in order to secure the
Mm-hmm.
API endpoint. So you want me to explain the architecture because if we go through each and every point, it takes 2 to 3 days.
No, no. I know. I just wanted to know
Yeah,
what protocols you are going to
right,
follow in order to secure your API. So, tell me one thing. When do you plan to use auth protocols, and when do you plan to use JWT tokens? In which situation you
right.
use
So
these?
right. So JWT token is a stateless one, meaning
Mm-hmm.
the server doesn't keep username and password.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it works on some token based authentication, right? Now, when do we use JWT? When do you use auth, right? So
Mm-hmm.
basically, as a user, when I try to log into any application, right? With the OAuth 2, there is no need to remember my username and password.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to connect to any of my application, right, you can use either third party application in order to allow you to log into your application. Meaning, say, for example, take an example, right? I want to use abc.com application, right? But every time, say abc.com or cgy.com, or if you have a 2 to 3 applications, these 2 3 applications requires you to log in. Every time we have to create our own profile and then we need to remember, right? So to avoid this one, right, what we can do, many applications these days, they want to take a help of Google, because in the current world, most of the people would be having access to Google account, right? So what these applications, the third party applications can do it, hey, since you need not to create your own username and password with our system. You do one thing, you try to access your credentials through, Gmail or google.com, so that we can verify you, right? It will give you a prompt saying that verify your authentication. So as if it is a Google, yes, Google screen will appear out there. If it is author, yes, it can appear there. So most of the organizations, enterprise organizations, they enable SSO related third party authentication, right? Take an example of, since you don't know about SSO, let's take an example of Google. So when you click on Google continue for authorization, what Google does, Google take your request and verifies your authentication, and then send a request back to this ABCD XYZ application, right? It authorizes you, right? So you need not to create your own username and password with these applications. Just use authentication process with your gmail.com. That is how it is. It's an open source authentication, right? Now when we come to JWT, it is basically enterprise level security in order to secure our API endpoints. It works based on JWT token, right? There are three processes. One, you log in, you register yourself to the system, and then authenticate by logging in, by providing your username and password here. It will authenticate against the database. And then next, third step is when you try to access any of the resources, use the existing token that was written in the authentication process. So that's what I can explain you. In case if you want at the architect level, yes,
No,
I
that's
can
okay. That's
explain
enough.
you.
That is enough. How do you optimize a complex query? What are the steps you take?
Right. Right. So there are, many ways to optimize the database queries. One is threading, partitioning. But since you are talking about only the queries, the best way to, optimize the queries to use the index. Create an index on a data that you're working on, and at the same time, in case the index is also not working well, partition the queries so that the part of the query data will go and sit on different databases. These are the two major methods in order to optimize the queries.
Okay. And have you used indexing in query optimization?
Yeah, that's what the first step. Index, create an index.
Okay, very nice. So, Pench, this is what I wanted to know, and I think we are good. I'm pretty sure that I will be able to set up your interview maybe tomorrow or Friday. Max by Friday, you should have an interview since we already have managers availability, on table. So, I will try to